Okay, here again is a diagram that violates my thinking on two low post people. But as I explain, I think you'll understand why we've done this. Here is what we have in this situation that I call triangle. Right here is the triangle, 3, 4, and 5. Now, these are our three scores. We have three scores, 3, 4, and 5. We have two feeders, 1 and 2. Our two feeders can range all the way around the three-point line, but they maintain spacing so that if one should happen to get the ball down here, he can make a move and pass it back out to his buddy. But they can range all the way from corner to corner on the perimeter looking to feed. Inside, we can change these positions around. What we're looking for inside is the movement for 3, where he can come off either way. That's one thing. Or 3, setting the screen. He may choose to come up, and we still have our triangle. Now we have 4 up, we have 3 down. Now, maybe 5 comes over and sets a screen for 3, who is now here, with 4 being up here, and now 3 sets up and comes off this. They're just working a cutting, screening situation in here, always trying to screen away from the ball and cut toward the ball, trying to make it very difficult for the switch to take place inside. And if they do switch, are trying to get some mismatches, either to post up or to have the ball on the side, on the three-point line, where we have a quickness advantage where we can drive to the bucket. Triangle. Now, those are triangle. This is a deviation from our use of the entire half court, but we still maintain spacing. We maintain spacing for screening and cutting purposes. We maintain spacing for the slip screen. We're trying to get to the free throw line. We think we have an advantage against their inside defense by really working to get the ball inside. Now, one of the things that we can do in this is, if number 3 on the inside is a perimeter player as well, and number 2 can also play inside, then that gives us an opportunity, as we're going through different things, that we can eventually step out from 3 and back screen 2 into the triangle. Now, 3 becomes a perimeter player. He's made a move down. Maybe he's come out, whatever he's done, started down, come out. But now he's brought 2 into the triangle, and now with 1, he becomes a feeder, where 2 becomes a scorer with inside movement. We found this has always been very effective to use a guard that's a tough kid that can play inside, that doesn't mind setting screens on big guys and can get the ball. We had a kid named Damon Bailey who was extremely good with this setup. And it's a very difficult thing to play against, because any switch that involves our perimeter player who's inside is a bad switch for them both ways. They now have an outside player playing a post player. They have an inside player playing an outside player. So those are some things that we stick into our offense. Never leaving these ideas. Maintain spacing. 15 feet to go screen, 15 feet to pass, 15 feet to cut. Don't get in each other's way. Maintain spacing for consistently good movement. Number 1. Number 2, set up in such a way that now we're concentrating on both the cutter having a chance to get open as well as the screener having a chance to get open, as we do in everything that we run. Now, it's an inside game rather than a half-court game. Okay, now, let's run triangle. Get it set up. All right, who are my two guards out here? All right, now, we got 3 guys in here. All right, now, you 2 guys will bring it in. Let's get everybody up and we'll set it up out here. Let's all 5 come in and space it in triangle. All right, now, Curtis, who are our scorers? You 3 guys are our scorers, okay? We got 2 feeders. The only way either one of you guys is going to go into the triangle is if somebody back screens you in. If they back screen you in, then you become a cutter and a screener in triangle, okay? We ready to go? Go! Run it, Curtis. Get them going. Good, good. What do we got? Good. That's it. Keep working inside. Move the ball around. Come on, you got to cut and screen. Down, triangle at this end. Let's go. Down screen right off the bat, Curtis. All right, cross screen. Screening toward the ball, not away from the ball. Good, good. All right, Black. Same thing, Black. John, who are your scores? Wait a minute. Pick the scores. All right. Who can back screen anybody into the post? No, we don't want the big guy out. Yeah, who can be a back screener out of these 3? All right, you 2 guys can back screen, okay? But then who should we most likely put inside? No, on the back screen. It's got to be one of you 2. Okay? Do you think Mike would be the better guy inside to leave you outside? No, I do. I think it would be. So we got to make a choice on this group of 5. I want you outside all the time. You're going to be a feeder outside all the time, or you're going to get your shot. You 4 guys can interchange, but remember, you can only interchange off a back screen. Okay? You can't. You're stuck in there. Get your ass in there and rebound. Okay, here we go, boys. Go! Down screen, cross screen. Keep screening, keep working. Bring him toward the ball. Good. Good, let's go this way. Get him spread, Mike. Get him spread. Get him spread, John. Right, good. Reverse the ball, reverse it. Good, good. What do we got? Good cut. Screen out, screen out. All right, now we're back in. What do we got? Good. All right, good. Hold it up. We've spent quite a bit of time here with the spacing of man-to-man offense, obviously against man-to-man defense. And the reason for doing that is there are so many more things that you can do out of man-to-man defense, and so many more things that you have to be aware of and you have to be able to play against when you're going against man-to-man defense, I think, than anything else, because of switching, sloughing off, playing high, playing low, taking advantage of a kid that can't shoot the ball, whatever. So we've spent a lot of time on man-to-man offensive spacing and what all can be done by maintaining spacing. Now we're going to go to look at offense against the zone. All right, let's start out with a 2-3 zone. And what we do against one zone is pretty much the same of what we do against all zones. But again, it relies on spacing. We have 3 gaps in a 2-3 zone. I want a person in each of those gaps. I want somebody here, here, and somebody here. Now basically, what we have done is we've set up a situation through spacing where 4 players are going to have to guard 3. Now, what are we going to do with our other 2 people? Well, now I'm a little bit, now I'm probably going to again go away from my idea of one low post man, because we're not getting a lot of back screening and we're not getting a lot of interchange between 2 post people in the zone, whether they, as you will see, replace one another. So let's put our other 2 players in these gaps, and that's spacing, because now we've put them in a situation where with 5, C and D might be taken up with 5. And C and D might be taken up with 5, and D and E are taken up with 4. Now, the key to our going against the zone is out on top. Spacing has set us up in a situation where we are between 2 defenders. And any time that we're going to make a penetrating move from any one of these 3 spots, both defenders are going to come to take away the penetration. Now, to stop penetration in a zone, what that zone has to do is put 2 people on the ball. And they've done that here. That means that B is left to guard 1 and 3. Or, as is often the fact in playing against a 2-3 zone, when the ball is reversed to 3, E has to come up and guard him, which allows 4 to step out on the baseline. And of these 2, we always want to go toward our best driver. In this case, it's 4. When he steps out on the baseline, the guy that has to play him is that middleman. And so many times we're going to have an advantage in quickness because of what we've done with penetration. The same thing happens no matter where we penetrate. We set up a drill to do this, and I'll show it to you in just a moment, but I want the whole picture here. We penetrate here. Both guys come, we drop pass off to either side. If both guys don't come, he goes into the open spot created by one guy not coming, and he's got a shot right here. I can remember as a kid first learning how to play basketball. The axiom was move people against man-to-man, move the ball against zone. Well, when I started coaching, I had an opportunity to be around great coaches, and certainly among them was Claire B., and he was one of the guys that originated zone defense. And as I talked to him and as I watched what our team did against the zone, you know, the key was pass the ball, pass the ball, pass the ball. I remember the first practice, we had a great writer when I was coaching at Indiana named Bob Hamill. And the first practice, I remember him being finding it almost impossible to believe that I had kids cross-court the ball. Well, the slide of the zone is such that they're all moving toward the ball. And when they move toward the ball, if you cross-court the ball accurately and quickly, that zone has to completely adjust. So what you are trying to do with whatever you do offensively against the zone is distort the zone. Passing the ball lets them play however they want to play. You pass it here, they shift. You pass it there, they shift. But you dribble the ball and you make 2 of them play you, that has distorted the zone. I don't care what the zone is. Now I'm going to show you what we try to do, and this will be applicable to every zone we play against, and I'll just show you the different ways we set up against individual zones. Now, we're looking to always know which of these 2 is our better shooter. If they're both good shooters, then we want him to penetrate. We want him to get the ball to that shooter. We bring him up. We step outside. We always set up spacing. If one of these 2 is a better shooter, 4 or 5, or he's a better driver, then we're probably going to work away from him and then come back to him so that we have a chance for penetration here, a shot here, or a drive or shot there. And if we don't get any of these things, we just come back again. Now, what might happen when we come back again? Let's say 4 has had the ball out here. E has come up. Now 4 has the ball. E slides back. He's being helped by D. The ball's returned to 3. He penetrates quickly. As soon as he gets the ball, anytime anybody on the perimeter receives the ball, I want them to immediately look at the bucket and penetrate. Bring 2 people to the ball. And sometimes we're going to be able to penetrate quickly and get a little 12-foot jump shot. Sometimes we've distorted the zone, and if our postman is awake, as someone penetrates, he's able to slide up, and we hit him with a little drop-off pass where he can go to the basket. So when it comes back, and it's now in 3's hands, he penetrates. Now B has to move. B has to move. 1 steps over, and on the first penetration, the ball can be reversed to 1, and this brings A into the picture. Or 1 gets it and takes it right here for a shot. A comes into the picture. Now 2 is here. A here, 2 here, little penetrating move. The pass back to 2. C has to come up, and we can step out on the baseline again with nobody there to cover except the middleman. Plus the fact that we can also step into the middle from the other side. So the idea of penetration against the zone is, I think, the entire key to playing against the zone. I tell our players, the zone is set up to defend against passing. It is not set up to defend against dribble penetration. One of our practice schematics is very simply this. We set up a 4-man box. We have 4 defensive players. We can use managers in this situation. We can use players however we choose to do it. But we set up a box. We have 4 guys here, and we have 3 offensive players. And those 3 offensive players are really working hard to penetrate, comes over, comes up, step in, get a shot, drive into the bucket, 3 against 4. We're working on their ability to penetrate, to get rid of the ball with the pass, to create a shot by penetrating, 3 against 4. And anytime they get the opportunity to drive the ball, they're going to drive the ball. And that is probably as standard a drill as we use in practice every night, and particularly use when we're about to play a team that uses a zone defense. Typical setup against a 2-3 zone is that we have somebody in every gap. This zone has actually got 5 gaps in it. All right? Gap 1 on top. Gap 2 on this side. Gap 3 on that side, and 2 gaps in the middle. 1 on either side of the bucket. We want to play into those gaps. And what we want to do against any zone is what, John? We want to bring 2 guys to the ball. That a boy. We want to work in practice hard with all of our outside players. Maybe 3 guys against a box, 3 guys against 4. So jump out for just a second. All right, now all I want you to do is spread it out a little bit, boys. You got 3 people. I don't want anybody inside. 3 people against a box. All I want you guys doing is what, John? Getting into the middle, getting into the gap, bring 2 guys to the ball, get rid of it, and just keep going into the gaps and bring it and reversing the ball. Go ahead, boys. Good. Bring them both to the ball. That's it. Really good. Look to reverse it. Look to take it one way and throw it the other. Good. Very good. All right. Good ball handling. Good ball handling. Good, John. Take it down. All right. Bring it away. Get it the other way. Good. Good. All right. Okay, hold it. Every night we want to work with all of our perimeter players working to get in the gaps of the zone. No matter what the zone is, it doesn't make any difference. Our setup is always going to be in the gaps of the zone. we're talking about the 2-3 zone. Now we set up a different zone, the 3-2 zone. But our approach is going to be exactly the same. What we do will be a little bit different. Two things before I get into our setup against this particular zone, I want to really emphasize for you to think about and work on are, number one, the shot fake. As I've said, the zone is there to guard the ball, to guard the pass, to guard the movement of the ball. I've never found a zone yet that when a penetrating move is made and a quick pass fake with the ball, that the zone doesn't move somewhere between 4 and 6 feet. They move on that pass fake. Jimmy Cruz, who was an outstanding coach, got a really terrible situation from some people that I don't even want to get into relative to coaching at West Point. But Jimmy was an outstanding coach, and he was the best player I ever had at the pass fake. Little penetrate, pass fake, move them and reverse the ball. Pass fake, reverse the ball. It distorts the zone. The pass fake gets the zone to move, we reverse the ball. The next thing, and even more important, in ball reversal, you have ball reversal against both man-to-man and zone. You reverse the ball to a shooter. Defense knows he's a shooter. I'm the shooter right now. The ball is reversed to me. Here's the baseline. I make sure I'm high enough, far enough away from the baseline that I can drive the baseline. The ball is reversed to me. The first thing I want to do when I make a catch of the ball anywhere on the perimeter, I'm right-handed. As I catch the ball, I step forward with my right foot. And when I do so, my body is set up for me to take the shot immediately if the shot is there. I don't stand here like this where I have to pivot and then step. I'm ready. I'm in a shooting position right now. And we try to teach, put the ball right at his chest, right at chest level. So when he catches it, he can step and he can shoot. Now, we'd like to have that for our good shooter on every possession, but you're not going to get that. So we work with our shooters on, as they catch the ball and step, they see what this defender is doing when the ball has been reversed. And chances are, if I'm known to be a pretty good shooter, that defender is going to come flying out at me. And I don't want my shot hurried. I don't want him to take away from my concentration. I want him to defend my shot fake. I remember when George Raveling was working with me with the Pan American team, and we worked on the shot fake. And one evening we went out to eat, and George said, "That shot fake is the most amazing thing I've ever seen." And I tend to agree with him, because I'm not sure there is a kid that can come hard toward the shooter and not react to the shot fake. And even if he just puts his hands up and comes up in the air, it sets up a driving opportunity for me. If he leaves his feet, I kiss him goodbye as he goes by and have all the time in the world to take the shot. Or I go up into him and get fouled and get 3 shots at the free throw line. I don't think there's any single phase of basketball that is really important, that's so misused and so undertaught as the shot fake. I think the shot fake is the whole key to being able to score on the reverse of the basketball. So we put in the pass fake. We put in the shot fake. And then one other thing that I like to use against the zone I mentioned is the cross-court pass. And if we can bring the zone toward the ball and throw the ball over top of the zone, then we're setting up an opportunity to play against a defense that has to recover and has to come charging out. Against the 2-3 zone, we talked about being able to bring that bottom man up and cover and open up the baseline. Now against the 3-2, you really can't do that. As you can look back and see, against the 2-3 zone, we play 3 people on the perimeter and 4 people have to work at guarding them. Against the 3-2 zone, we play 2 people on top, and then we call or go into what I call 3 men deep. 3, 5, and 4. And now either 2 guys have to guard 3, or these 2 have to drop back and help D and E. That's a very difficult alignment for a 3-2 zone to play against. And we're not going to have a lot of movement. We're going to go into the gaps just like we have. Our inside guy can continue to work into the middle, and I've always said inside, play behind the defense. When you play behind, if you play in front of the defensive man, you bring the defense up, which you don't want. That inside guy, play behind the defense. Make them susceptible to the lob pass, so instead of being up here, that defensive man has to back up, which gives you a lot more room to operate in the lane. A guy behind the defense on the baseline is very difficult to keep track of. And so we're going to penetrate. We're going to bring 2. We're going to step over or step up. We're going to reverse the ball. We're going to try and beat it here. He comes in, maybe he steps up, we hit him, he comes out, we've got a driving situation. We just create mismatches. And the mismatch, theoretically, is in favor of the defense because they can double team us. Well, that's what we're looking for. We're looking to get 2 people on 1, so we're playing 4 on 3 elsewhere. Now, inside, we can rotate these 3 guys inside. Like, let's say that he steps up. And when 3 sees him steps up, when 3 sees him step up, he may go into the post, and then our man right here steps out and replaces him. So we can run a 3-man movement along the baseline. We can even screen. Like the ball is here, this defensive man comes in a little bit. We have a guy right here that's a good shooter. We can screen in. He comes off. We reverse the ball with penetration, and there we've got a shot or a drive here. But we're setting it up with mismatches that I think favor us because of the use of penetration. We would use the same theory against any zone that would be out there. A 1-3-1 zone, we would have 2 people on top that would be set up to occupy the top of that zone, and then we would play 3 deep, just as we have here against the 3-2 zone. One other thing in our offense against the zone. Any time that the ball is passed back to the man who passed you the ball, i.e. 1 throws to 2. All right? 2 works at penetration. He works at stretching the zone. Every time we catch the ball, as I said, on the perimeter, we want to look to get in the gap. So he's driven here. 1 moves into a position where he can release against every zone. When he releases and the ball comes back to him, we have a rule that I think is extremely important in the proper attack of a zone defense. Once the man who passes, once you have passed the ball to the side and the ball is passed back to you, you must cross the imaginary midcourt line either with the dribble or with a pass before the ball can go back to this guy. Now, I see too many teams where I make the pass to the side. I'm number 1 up here, and I pass down here to 2. I hit 2, and I move, and 2 throws it back to me, and I look and I throw it back to 2, and 2 takes a dribble and throws. We haven't done a thing to the zone. So when I make that pass, he makes his move. Now my job is to first of all penetrate and to get 2 people to come to me. If I can't get that, I may move the ball over across that line, then I want to pass it back. Another rule against the zone: don't pass in the same direction you're dribbling. Your dribble brings the zone. Your dribble forces the zone to move. Bang, bang, the zone moves. Get the ball reversed. It's his job to be in position where I can reverse the ball. Once in a while, he may be able to slip inside. If not, step out, reverse, penetrate. Don't pass in the direction you dribble. Don't pass the ball back when you've already thrown him the first pass. Rather, take it across the midcourt and then throw it back. Work the zone. The team that passes the ball against the zone, catch, pass, is going to shoot a hell of a lot of threes. And I would rather go to the free throw line than shoot a three. People like to know, where did you come up with this idea, or who helped you with that, or how did this develop? When I first started coaching, I went through every coach that I'd had, and I put down the things that I thought were really good and the things that I didn't think were good. And as an example, one time as a player, I had played very well in the first half of a game, going in as a substitute. And we were behind, and we were ahead at the half. And I didn't do anything great, but we made a 12-point difference while I was in the ball game. And I was thinking, well, I'm going to get a chance to start the second half, but I didn't. Well, that taught me one thing about kids. If somebody plays really well in the first half for you coming off the bench, replacing a kid that hasn't played well, go right back to that kid that did come in and play well the second half. He's earned it. And tell the other kid, Jimmy, you've got to do a better job than you were doing. John's done a better job. John's going to play the second half. If John has gone in for a kid that was in foul trouble who was playing very well, always say, Johnny, you did a hell of a job in the first half coming in for Jimmy. Now be ready to do the same thing in the second half because he's in a little bit of foul trouble. Jimmy, you got to be careful now. You've got two. Don't get that third one right. So I think you see things and you try to utilize things that you've learned and things that you've seen along the way. Now, let's get a point man up here for a 1-2-2 zone. All right, now we split the top. Let's go. You two guys split the top. We go three deep, three on the baseline. All right, now the responsibility here is that these two guys on top have to occupy three. And they're going to be able to do that because they're going to work to get in the gaps. Now, once they go in the gap, as an example, a really good move would be right here. John takes the ball into the gap. He occupies both guys. We step up right here, and there's the pass. Hold it. He has to come out to cover that. Big man steps on the baseline. He's either posting or he steps out, and we're going to have a really good hold it right where you are. We're really going to have a good opportunity to get a shot here. Now, let's look at this setup. Where would you be a little bit better off? How about coming up here? And we get a little cross-court pass out of this. And now he'll come low. We got somebody that can come into the middle from the opposite side. And you're good enough to come out here, and now you become an outside guy. Let's just move it a little bit. Still into those gaps. Slice that middle once in a while. You three guys work inside. Good, take it away. Where you got? Look in, look in. Good. Go right up with it. Get it in there. Go right up with it. Good cut. Very good. Good. Okay. All right, set up the 1-3-1 with the same setup, boys. Exact same setup, 3 deep. Now, you've got 2 different sides to occupy, or if there's a gap, you guys can flash into it. And you can screen down here also. Okay, let's go. Take it, John. Get in that gap. Get in hard. That's it. Good. Good look. Good pass. There you are. Very good. That's the way to move with the defense. Good. If you guys, you're playing, most everybody that uses the 1-3-1 for some reason plays a guard back here. So it gives us an advantage rebounding. Also, we screen. We reverse the ball quickly. We can hold this guy out, make it tough for him to come to the other side. We're going to get good baseline shots out of it. Let's take it again. Take it in. Good, good. Reverse, attaboy. Good pass. It's the way to look. Stay wide, stay wide, stay wide. Don't jam it up in there. Good. All right, that's the shot that we want right there for our guards. We got that defense moving, but one thing you could have done that would have been just a little bit better was when you got the ball, you caught it, and what'd you do with it right away? You made the pass. What do I want you to do with it? Occupy this guy so John has that much more room over there. Curtis, make Curtis come to you, and now John's got all this room, okay? So use the dribble. Always set up shots with the dribble. Just catching the ball and throwing it is what the defense is geared to do. You know, that's all this zone is to play the passes. So if you dribble it, they're not used to that. Plus, you make somebody play you. Plus, if this guy doesn't get to you, you're here, we slide the baseline, and we're going to dunk the ball. We've been talking about the necessity of floor balance, player balance in a lot of different areas. Probably in no area is it any more important than it is in attacking the press, whether it's a half-court press or a full-court press. And you're going to get a look at some clips here in a moment that show how we like to set up against a half-court press and a full-court press, how we like to work against it. But before that, let me give you a couple thoughts about how to deal with the press. Let's take the full court press first of all. Regardless of what the press is, man-to-man, 2-2-1, 1-2-2, whatever it is. Number one, don't have your center take the ball out of bounds. Don't have a kid take the ball out of bounds that when he steps in bounds and becomes a release, he is not your best dribbler. You want your best dribbler to take the ball out of bounds. Then you want your best player to be in the middle of the press, whatever it is, 1-2-2, 2-2-1, 1-3-1. You want that best player with the best instincts to be in the middle. Now, if it's one and the same player, then you decide which is more valuable. Being able to get the ball back to the man who inbounded it to avoid the immediate trap on the first pass, or to be able to get the ball in the middle of the zone, who can handle it perhaps better than anybody that we have. My choice would always be put my best player in the middle of the zone, and then I would work with somebody, and we were pretty fortunate in having somebody that was pretty good at inbounding the ball, stepping in, and getting it back. Now, let's start with the inbounds. When we inbound the ball against the press, never throw it. If the man is being pressured on the baseline, never throw it to the short corner. Make sure you have a release to the long corner. Don't throw it to the corner where the trap is only 10 steps away. Throw it to the long corner where the trap is 20 or 25 steps away. Then from there, the man who inbounds it steps in. We can look back to him as a release. He's always going to be a release when he steps in, or our first look is into the middle of the floor. And we get it to the middle of the floor, and from there it's just like the fast break. We fill the sides, we follow with trailers, and we get into our offense. Now that sounds kind of simple, and I think it is very simple. We don't have to return the ball to the man who inbounded it, but when we talk about releases, the release I've always used is that when a man is coming into what looks like an apparent trap, he throws the ball behind him. Because the man who passes the ball in our press offense has always been told, until the ball crosses midcourt, when you make a pass before that, you stay behind your pass. I've found over the years that it's very difficult if I make a pass up the court or a pass to the side and he's able to advance and I stay behind that, and he comes into what looks like a trap and brings the ball back to me, it's very difficult for the press to regroup itself and get into a trap situation where they're going to be able to do some damage to our getting the ball down the floor. I've never gone against a press that's good at coming back and resetting pressure when they've tried to set it one where, or when they've tried to set pressure one place and they've reversed the ball, but they've brought it back. And in doing that, I've always had, when we work against the press, I've had a watch with me. I always wear my watch at practice so I know, make sure I keep track of time. And I'll count off 10 seconds on my watch. And I'm going to do that right now for you. I'm going to say go, and we're going to go 10 seconds. Go. I do this every time we work against the press to remind my players that 10 seconds is a long time. You know, there are guys that can run 100 yards in less than 10 seconds. So we can surely navigate 45 feet in less than 10 seconds, and we can take some time in doing that. I think one of the big fallacies in attacking the press is to get it down as quick as you can. We want to get it down, but we want to get there with the ball so that if we don't have an early opportunity to drive it or get a good shot, then we're ready to work our offense. I remember one situation I had where one of our great players, Quinn Buckner, came up to me at practice, and we were playing a team that used 4 different setups in their press. And I was trying to get our team to recognize the setup and then react accordingly. Buckner looked at me and he said, "Coach," he said, "can you recognize those different press setups quickly enough, like I'm going to have to?" And I thought for a minute, and I said, "Let's hold it a second." So I got a team together, and I said, "Okay, boys, they run 4 presses. We're going to run triangle against it." So we have Quinn taking the ball out of bounds, who was our best man to return it to. We had our center get out of the play at midcourt, and we had our 3 other players involved in triangle, screen, cut, screen, and the defense couldn't handle that. And it didn't make any difference which one of their 4 different presses they used. We didn't have to try to recognize the press because we were going to do the same thing. And that night we beat a very good team on their court with 1 turnover against the press. So I throw that out to you with the idea of cutting, screening, triangular balance being used against a team that used multiple presses. Now, we'll take a little shot here at showing you what we're talking about with some clips on press offense. All right, now, against the press, let's have White set up a 2-2-1 press. Okay, now, who do we have? Just stay where you are, Blacks. Just stay right where you are. Now I'm going to ask you questions. All right, who do we not want taking the ball out of bounds?
Big man.
The big man. Good. We don't want our center ever taking the ball out of bounds. Where do we want our center? We want to get him the attaboy. We want to get him the hell out of things. That's very good. Get those big guys where they can't screw up anything. That's good. All right, now, what we want is that the guy taking the ball out of bounds can have the ball returned to him and do a good job handling it. That's why we want a ball handler taking the ball out of bounds. That can really be any one of you four guys, okay? The best guy on the Black team right now with the ball is John, when he's got his head out of his ass, when he's paying attention to what the hell is going on, when he's working his ass off, right, John?
Yes, sir.
You miss me, John?
Yes, sir.
Do you miss me?
Yes, sir.
Honestly?
I do.
Okay. Now, I want the guy that can handle the ball best. I want him in the middle where he can make the play. All right, now, we come up a little bit. So you can release, you two guys can release. So we really don't want John to release. So let's, maybe you flash, we get the ball in, you start up, right back. Now look for the middle or look opposite. Now take it in though, take it in, make your pass. All right, good. Now let's see, go. Look up. We can use the big guy, good release. All right, hold it. Let's bring it back full tilt. Now, we can put you three guys, you two guys come on up a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, now you can run one way, pass it the other way. Look to get it in. Look to the middle right away. Look up. Good. Very good. There we are. Good, John. Very good. Use that guy in the middle. Bring it back again. Now hold it. Now this zone, this 2-2-1 zone is usually going to let you get the ball in bounds. Okay? So go a little bit deeper now so you're not jamming things up. We can go either way. If you've got a chance to go up the sideline quickly and make a pass between these two guys, that's good because we get the ball in John's hands. When you make a pass, anytime I make a pass before we cross midcourt, what do? I stay behind the ball. So that if I've made a pass here and we take the ball, I've made this inbounds pass, he starts up and he gets a little pressure, I'm behind him, ready to release. I take it right here hard, you're in now, or I'm you, you're in, there I make a great pass into the middle and we go. All right, let's go. Look. Pass fake. All right, now hold it. Who had the ball right here? Who caught the ball right? Come back up here again. No, just stay where you are, boys. Now, I'm not sure whether you realize what a great move you made. Because one thing we don't want you doing is what? Crossing the 10-second line and getting stuck right here. You did a hell of a job right here. You stopped short, you back passed, and we got to the free throw line because you saw what the hell was there and you did a good job with it. All right, now, we're 3 up. Let's get 3 across. In the middle, John. All right, now, where is it going to be most difficult for them to trap your first pass? All right, so you make a pass fake, go to the long corner, step in, look for John right away, look opposite. All right, bring it back. This might even be any time when we've got it here, unless they've handed you the ball, you've got free movement here, okay? So just start away. and then reverse the ball to that long corner. Go, long corner. What do we got? Good, good. Okay, we make the press our offense. This is one time when we want to score every chance we get. We may even make a mistake now and then, but we sure don't want to make very many. We want to take advantage of the fact that they're spread out. Their balance is no good. They can't cover the whole floor like this because we handle the ball better than they're going to pick us up. Take it again. Let's go. Remember, long corner. Go. Good. Look back, look back. Oh, be careful with that one. All right, good. Hold it up, boys. That's good. All right, set up a 1-2-1-1 half court. What I'd like is this, Blacks. Who can do the most damage in the middle? We got Blacks. Blacks have the ball. Whites, Curtis, I agree with you, but you don't have the ball. You're on defense now. Okay. All right, now, your responsibility is really big now. Don't get caught up here above that guy. Or drop back just a little bit. Doesn't hurt for you to be off a little bit. You can come underneath. You can flash on either side. But once you get it, then we're going to take the ball to the bucket, okay? All right, you two guys work him out there. Let's go. 1-2-1-1 trap. Be sharp with it now. Look across. Good pass. Very good. That's the way to move the basketball. Pass fake. Pass fake. What is any one of these defenses, boys, what is any one of them geared to do when you have the ball? They're geared to follow the ball, okay? I make a sharp pass fake. They're going to go 5 feet with the ball, and that gives us a layup on the other side. Bring it in again. John, wait, whoa, cross midcourt. Come back here so you have to beat the 10-second count and over and back. Go, 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 go. Good, good. Get into that gap. Look at the middle. All right, now, one thing we want to really be careful of is throwing the ball to the baseline where we don't have a shot. That's a tough pass, John, because the defense has moved that way. Let's be careful about throwing it to the baseline. All right, here we go. All right, now hold it. Let's make a change. You two switch. All right, now. Why did I do that? Because we can have a guy on the baseline that can drive the ball. That's good. Good thinking, John. All right, here we go. Bring it in. Close it. Spacing now. Don't be too far. Look good, look. Good look, good look. You got to be ready to go to the bucket with that. All right, tighten it up a little bit right here on top, boys. Look back. Okay, that's good, boys. That's a good job. There are all kinds of ways to play defense. The way I chose to teach was man-to-man defense. What you're about to see are the various things that I tried to use, tried to teach, tried to get into a position where they were effective, and came together to be a tough defense to play against. I hope there's a lot here that you can use in your own program. Now, we're going to go into defensive conversion. Conversion is just as important to the defensive end as it is converting to the offensive end. Defensive conversion requires immediate reaction to the situation. The shot is taken. We make it, we miss it, we rebound it, we go again. They rebound it. We don't try to hassle the rebounder. We don't try to hassle the outlet passes. Rarely have I done that. And even when I have, too many times it's screwed us up with our getting back down the floor and getting our defense set up properly. Rather than doing anything up here at our offensive end to hassle the conversion that the opponent is making to their offense at the other end, let's get back. Let's get back with more people than they have. Let's beat them down the floor. Let's spread the floor. I don't want two guys running down the floor side by side, or three guys on one side and one in the middle and one. I want the floor covered when we're going down the floor. And if we can pick up the man that we've been assigned to guard, fine. But I want them talking, and every night in practice, we work a different set of conversion drills. The team that's on offense takes a shot. They make it. The defense puts it in. We get down the floor from the offensive standpoint, offensive conversion to defensive conversion. We may call out the name of one of the offensive players at this end. John! Now, when he hears his name, he's got to go out of bounds while the defensive team is converting, so that means there are just 4 players converting on defense until John catches up and makes it a 5-on-5 situation. So we try to develop difficult things to do in going to the defensive end. We run a situation where we play working on our offensive fundamentals. We start out red offense, red offense, black defense, 5 blacks, 4 reds. Conversion takes place when red loses the ball through a shot, a turnover, a bucket, whatever. Now, the 4 reds have been running their offense against the 5 blacks. Great advantage to the defense. Now the blacks get the ball, and they're going to work 5 against 4. And now we're requiring 4 defensive men to play 5 offensive men. They've got to talk. They've got to switch. They've got to know where everybody is and know where the ball is. Creating disadvantages for the defense is, I think, really important in being able to play well defensively. And creating this disadvantage in conversion is perhaps the most important advantage that has been created for the offense. We'll have 4 guys play 5 on half court. We'll have 2 feeders from the corner play 4 on 4. Actually, it's 6 against 4. And then with these 2 managers, and they can drive, and we have to cover those drivers, so we create advantages, disadvantages. Get there and get set up. Just as when we convert to offense, our whole idea starts with 3 points. Number 1, get there before they do. They beat us down the floor. Number 2, don't make a turnover. Let's get a chance to score, either from the free throw line or from the floor. But let's work till we get a good opportunity to score without turning the ball over. Number 3, when we have scored or we have lost possession of the ball, we get back as quickly as we can. We spread the court so we have the whole floor covered. And if I can't pick up my man, I say, I've got 12. You've got 14. We communicate going back so we don't have 2 guys picking up 1. We don't have a guy that goes to the wrong. Everybody must call out who they've got. We try to always let our postman play their postman. We work very hard in getting back defensively getting down the floor in defensive conversion so that we don't have any situations where they have us in a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-2 somewhere on the floor because we've had two guys jump on one. Okay, when we talk about conversion, just as we have been talking in this whole tape, we're talking about spacing. And the spacing in converting to offense is that we have the floor covered where we've got screening and cutting opportunities. Where if we have a postman, he's there where he can come to the ball, he can screen. We've got an open side where we can drive. We're looking to set up opportunities quickly, but we can't do it unless we have proper spacing. If we have two guys in the post, that eliminates a lot of our offense. If we have three guys on one side instead of two guys on each side, if we're down too low, we want to make sure that the spacing is proper in converting to offense. That sets us up to have a chance to score. When we convert to defense, we want the floor covered from one side to another. We can't wait or rely on the fact that each of our five guys is going to be able to pick up his man. His man in quotes. Everybody is his man. One of the things that I try to teach above all else defensively is never lose sight of the ball. Know where the ball is. So somebody has got to get the ball, get into it, harass the ball, make it difficult for them to get the ball to the basket. The other four guys have got to get their men. Preferably, we'd like to pick up the people that we have been assigned to. Sometimes that's not possible. So we pick up the guy we can get to quickest. And the other four people, those not guarding the ball, get into those positions. The ball is going to go to one side or the other. We want to have a help side to our defense and a ball side to our defense. Spacing. Spacing is very important to us in defense. Rather than to go into all of our defense, I'm simply going to talk here about spacing. We draw a line separating the floor. One side, the other side. This is the midline of the floor. We have another line, the imaginary line that goes across the foul line extended. When we come down the floor on defense, the side where the ball is, here is the opponent with the basketball right here. One has the ball. That indicates that this is going to be our ball side. We've got to pick him up. We've got to try and keep him going down the sideline. We like to force the ball toward the corners. I think there is less that you can do from the corner effectively than any place on the floor. So let's hurt their spacing by forcing the ball toward the corners if at all possible. When the ball gets going back into the middle, that's when a lot of different things can happen. And one of the great minds in basketball was Abe Lemons, one of the funniest guys that ever lived. But beneath that humor was really a sound basketball mind. He had one thought on defense: make him take the corner shot. Well, there's a lot to making him do that. That's a simple statement, but the more you get the ball going toward the corner of the floor, the less there is to do with it. You've got a defender here, the sideline. You got a defender here, the baseline. So let's start out with good ball pickup. Let's talk. Let's get these other four people picked up. And now we're into our defensive setup. And here's what we have. I'm going to put up just a very standard offense here. Here's another guard over here coming down. They've got a forward out here. They've got a forward over here. They've got a postman in here. All right, now, for everybody on the ball side, now remember this midcourt line determines ball side over here, help side over here. As soon as pickup on the ball has been established, we try to contest a pass on the ball side. I don't think you're always successful in contesting. I'm not one to totally overplay. Let's harass this guy. Let's move him as far out on the floor as we can move him. Let's don't try to contest him to the extent that, bang, it's the third back cut bucket he's gotten against us. When we contest a pass, let's always keep the back cut in mind. We're a lot better to have the ball out here than we are to have a guy back cut us because we were in some kind of a contesting position. We want to harass, but we don't want to give up something from this position. Now, The ball above the foul line extended, as it is. That means anywhere from midcourt to this imaginary foul line extended. When the ball is on this side of the floor, what we have here is the ball side. Everybody plays straight, tough, man-to-man defense. If the postman comes across, we're trying to get above him, taking away any pass to him. In defending the post, I always try to say, don't give him an angle. That means if he's here and you get way up here trying to front him, you've given him a heck of an angle to the bucket. I found long ago that the most effective way to play a good postman is not giving him an angle. If he's here, you play behind him. In this situation, we have the postman opposite the ball side. So we have a man on the ball, we have a man contesting the most logical pass. Everybody else, 3 defenders now over here. Every one of these 3 defenders playing 2, 4, and 5 is with the ball above the foul line extended. They are 1 step on their man side of the basket. Here, here, and here. And they are in a position slightly open to the ball. I can put my backhand in the passing lane, but with that ball above the foul line extended, I am 1 step on the man side of the basket. As the ball goes toward the baseline, I move accordingly. I'm staying 1 step on the man side of the floor until the ball crosses that imaginary 10-second line. And when it crosses that 10-second line, these 3 defenders move to 1 step on the ball side of the basket in position where they can really help out. And in helping out, they are 1 step off the direct passing lane to their man. So that's our defensive conversion. And then we've done a lot of work in other areas available to you relative to defense. But this is spacing. We want help side people to be able to help. We want help side people to be able to recover. We want people on the ball side to be able to defend the ball and to defend passes. If this guy should come up from low post to high post, we're going to come up with him. Now up here, it's a little easier to stay on the ball side of the man than it is in the low post. So our spacing, our positioning in conversion to defense is what sets up our entire defensive play. Spacing again. I think it's really important to create advantages and disadvantages. An advantage for the offense, a disadvantage for the defense, or vice versa. Here, we're going to have 4 offensive players. Let's get 4 blacks out here. All right, we're going to have 5 defensive players. So now we've got a roamer in the middle. We've got matchup, 4 guys playing man-to-man, and a roamer in the middle that can trap anywhere. Now this is going to be a double disadvantage to the black team. They're going to try and score 4 against 5. Then, once they give up the ball, however they lose the ball to the white team is going to convert. 5 against 4. So you guys are at a disadvantage at both ends. 4 on 5, you're on offense. 5 on 4, you're on defense. All right, let's go. We got to, we got to cut and screen, boys. We got to cut and screen. We got to work. Somebody get on the high post. Let's go. Good, good. Let's see if we can get a shot. Look in. Spread, spread, spread. Take it again. Now again, we had everybody right down here. We were only covering 30 feet of the floor. Make sure that we make them play 50 feet. Go. Good, good. What do we got? Good look. All right, that's a good bucket, 4 on 5. Let's go. Who you got? Who you got? You got to pick up. Now you got to work. Who's open? All right, now hold it. Now, what could you have done that would have been better? Well, he could have shot fake, but a dumb don't ever shot fake. But here's what you could have done now. You were right here. And as you see what's going on, you see a guy that's a pretty good shooter open. So instead of holding in here, you really had nobody you had to guard. You could come out a little bit, and that puts you in a position where you're not going to have to worry about the shot fake. Okay? All right. Now, we went 4 guys with the offense against 5 defense. Then we came down here with 5 guys on the offense and 4 guys on defense. So we can do that on half court as well as we do it on full court. And we can do this so that both guys, both groups, the blacks and the whites, have to play at a disadvantage, both on offense and on defense. What I want to show here is, let's get into the ball. We're into the ball. We're in the backhand in the passing lane. Backhand in the passing lane. Other hand, that's your backhand. Attaboy, you forget things, Curtis. Right here, you're slightly open to the ball. That backhand is in the passing lane. All right, now, this is something that we work on just to get what we want done on a pass firmly in mind. Set it up again. Bring it over. All right, that's good. Jump to the ball now, Curtis. Good. Get into it. Jump to the ball. Now back. Get into it. Good. Very good. Very good. Now back. Good. 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 All right, now hold it. Now that's just a little situation that we try to use to show anywhere on the perimeter when a pass is made, we jump to the ball. Set it up on this side, boys. Same thing. Good, 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 good. All right, now this time, when you get it, try to drive the middle. Just let him try to get in and then stop him and recover, okay? Little help and recover on the ball side. Good, jump to the ball. Little help, good recovery, good. Back again, little help, recover, good, very good, okay? All right, now, what we're going to show now is very simply defense first of all. How we want to recover. We start out with a defensive man in a contesting position. The ball is going to be reversed. He moves into a help side position when the ball is reversed. The ball comes back, move quick. Now it's reversed all the way, and he comes out, hold it, low and short. Come out again, let's do it again. Come out low and short to take away that drive. Very good. All right, now, good job on the defense. We don't want to let him get past you. We're squared up. We don't have our hands up in the air. We got our hands outside. We've widened our stance. We come in down low and we come in short because we won't be susceptible to the drive. If he should go up to take the shot, then we can still come up into him. But we don't come at him with our hands up in the air. Hands wide, low and short. Let's do it 3 times. Good. This is so important. Help and recover. Bring it back again. Help and recover. Help and recover. This drill can be set up any way you want it to, with just 2 guys, 2 managers handling the ball, or 2 coaches handling the ball. All right, good. Take it again one more time. Don't do anything with it, Curtis, except put it on the floor. Good, 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 good. Now bring it back. All right, Whites, let's set up a 2-guard front. Let's set up our high offense. Get another guard who's, okay, here we go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All I want you to do is pick up, okay? And we're going to go slowly, all right? We're going to go at about half speed. Now, what I want to show is this. When the ball goes to one side, we have our help side set up. Now, when you set up on help side, remember these things. When the ball is above the foul line extended, you are one step on the man's side of the bucket. You're open to the ball, and you've got your backhand in the passing lane to your man. Okay? On the ball side, we're going to pressure the ball, and we're going to try and force the ball toward the corner, and we're going to be ready to help deep, and we're going to be ready to rotate down. All right, let's just go at half speed, but when the ball goes from one side to the other, we've got to make our change. You have gone from ball side defense to help side defense. These guys have gone from help side defense to ball side defense. All right, here we go. Go ahead. Don't try to take it. Just move defensively. Talk to each other. Talk to each other. Good, good. Where's the help? All right, good. Where's the help? Make sure you're set on help. All right, bring it back. Bring it back. All right, now, this time, no dribble. Now, I've always felt this is an offensive thing because I want us to be able to get a shot without putting the ball on the floor. So this is just another little exercise that we use to make sure we get movement and passing, screening and cutting. We don't allow anybody to dribble once it crosses midcourt. Let's see if we can get a good shot without the dribble. Oh, that's a pretty good shot. Pretty good shot without a dribble. Take it again. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, defense. Bring it in. Bring it in. Guard cross. Guard cross. 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 Good, good. Good space, good screening. Get the angle set. You have really got to work at getting the angle set. Hold it, hold it. Somebody's got to release, boys. There's no dribble. As soon as he picks it up, we've got to have a release. Cross through, go to the opposite side. Bring it over hard. What do we got? Spacing. Whoa. There's no need for you to be in there. We were playing on 30 feet of the floor. When you went in here and stood, I think Curtis was below you. You're right here. That's 30 feet. We got to play on 50 feet. Don't let that defense play 30 feet. Make them play 50 feet. Cross again. Cross through. Bring it over hard. What do we got? Good defense. Good defense. Well, that brings us to an end. I've enjoyed trying to explain things the way I taught them. I hope it's been of some help to you. I want to wish you the very best with your team, with your players.